Captain Olivia Winters stood at the bridge of the UES Pathfinder, her eyes fixed on the vast emptiness of space that stretched before her. Earth was nothing but a tiny blue dot now, millions of miles behind them. Humanity had finally done it. They had developed faster than light travel, and the Pathfinder was their first deep space vessel to use this technology. "Captain, we're picking up something strange," said Communications Officer Greg Nelson. His voice broke the silence on the bridge. "It's not a natural signal." Olivia walked over to his station. "Show me." The screen displayed wave patterns that pulsed in a clear, organized sequence. This was not random cosmic noise. This was a message. "It's coming from the Tau Ceti system," Greg said, "and it's directed at us." For 3 generations, humans had sent signals into space hoping for a response. Now in the year 2157, they had their answer. First contact was happening, and Olivia Winters was at the center of it. "Send the first contact protocol message," she ordered. "Let them know we come in peace." Within hours, the response arrived. It wasn't just a signal this time, but a full transmission with visual data. The screen in the bridge flickered, and then they saw them. Aliens. The being had a slender form with pale blue skin and large, dark eyes that seemed to take up most of its face. "I am Zaxler of the Galactic Council," the alien said in perfect English. They had clearly been studying Earth's transmissions. "Your species has developed faster than expected. The Council requires your presence for assessment." The transmission ended, leaving the bridge crew in stunned silence. "Did we just get summoned by a galactic government?" asked Science Officer Peter Morgan. "Looks that way," Olivia replied, "and I don't think it was a request." When the Pathfinder returned to Earth with news of the contact, global leaders gathered in an emergency session. The United Earth government, formed after the climate wars of the 2080s, faced its first major extraterrestrial diplomatic challenge. "They're not inviting us to a party," said Defense Secretary Maria Lopez. "This assessment sounds like a trial." Ambassador Alan Donovan, Earth's most skilled diplomat, studied the transmission repeatedly. "There's fear in their message. They're worried about us for some reason." UEG President Richard Chen made the final decision. "We'll send a delegation. Captain Winters, since you made first contact, you'll lead. Ambassador Donovan will handle diplomacy, and Dr. Samuel Wright will represent our scientific community." 2 weeks later, the Pathfinder set course for the coordinates provided by the Galactic Council. The journey would take 3 months, even with FTL technology. During that time, the crew prepared for every possible scenario. Dr. Wright spent his days studying the limited data they had on the Council. "Based on Zaxler's physiology, I believe most Council species evolved from prey animals. Their physical features suggest peaceful herbivores or filter feeders." "Then why are they afraid of us?" Olivia asked. Ambassador Donovan had a theory. "Throughout history, prey animals have always feared predators. Humans evolved as hunters. Perhaps that's what concerns them." The Pathfinder arrived at the edge of a massive star system, dominated by an enormous space station. It was called Harmonia Center, the heart of the Galactic Council. The structure was bigger than anything humans had ever built, a spinning wheel of metal and light that could house millions. As the Pathfinder approached, a fleet of smaller vessels surrounded them, escorting them to a docking bay. The human delegation prepared to disembark. "Remember," Ambassador Donovan told the team, "we represent all of humanity. Stay calm, be respectful, but don't let them push us around." Stepping onto the station was like entering a dream. Aliens of all shapes and sizes moved through vast, open spaces with high ceilings and flowing water features. Some floated, others crawled. Many walked on various numbers of legs. The air smelled sweet and slightly spicy. But Olivia noticed something odd. Whenever the human group passed by, aliens moved aside. Some even changed direction to avoid them. "They're scared of us," Dr. Wright whispered. "Look at their body language. They're treating us like threats." A group of tall, thin aliens with 4 arms approached them. They wore what appeared to be uniforms with symbols that matched the ones from the transmission. "Welcome to Harmonia Center," said the one in front, clearly Zaxler from the transmission. "The Council awaits your presence. Please follow us. As they walked through the station, Ambassador Donovan engaged Zaxler in conversation. Your station is impressive. How many species are part of the council? 27 civilizations have achieved the harmony required for membership, Zaxler replied. Humans would be the 28th if deemed suitable. And what determines suitability? Donovan asked. Zaxler's large eyes blinked slowly. History, technology, biology, temperament. The council values peace above all else. They arrived at a transport platform that whisked them through the station at high speed. When they emerged, they faced an enormous door etched with symbols from what must have been all 27 member species. The council chambers, Zaxler announced. You will be assessed here. The doors opened to reveal a vast circular room, with rising tiers of seats filled with aliens of all descriptions. A soft blue light illuminated everything. In the center was a platform where the human delegation was directed to stand. Olivia noted that they were positioned at the lowest level, with all council members looking down at them. It was a clear power play. A serene-looking being with flowing, translucent features floated down to address them. I am High Counselor Venthari. We welcome humans to Harmonious Center. The High Counselor's voice seemed to come from everywhere at once, as if speaking directly into their minds. We have been observing Earth for many of your years, Venthari continued. Your species has shown remarkable advancement but also concerning tendencies. A holographic display appeared above them, showing scenes from human history, wars, environmental destruction, violent sports, predatory animals on Earth. Your evolution as pursuit predators has shaped your civilization in ways that concern the Council, said Venthari. You are the first such species we have encountered in many generations. Ambassador Donovan stepped forward. High Counselor, while our history has violent chapters, humanity has evolved beyond much of that. We seek peaceful cooperation with all species. Words, said another council member from a higher tier. Predators often disguise their intentions until ready to strike. Olivia noticed armed guards positioning themselves around the chamber, all watching the humans carefully. We require further assessment, Venthari announced. Dr. Samuel Wright will undergo standard biological examination. Captain Winters and Ambassador Donovan will answer the council's questions. Before they could protest, Dr. Wright was led away by a group of aliens with scientific equipment. Olivia caught his eye before he disappeared through a side door. He looked worried but nodded slightly. He would be okay. Now, said Venthari, turning back to Olivia and Donovan, let us discuss humanity's place in the galaxy, if there is to be one at all. The council chamber fell silent as Venthari's last words hung in the air. Captain Olivia Winters felt a chill run down her spine. The implied threat was clear. Humanity was on trial, and failure could mean extinction. Ambassador Alan Donovan stepped forward, his voice steady despite the tension. High Counselor, we understand your concerns, but judging us solely on our evolutionary past ignores who we have become, a reptilian council member hissed from above. Your kind evolved to chase prey until it collapsed from exhaustion. What civilized species does this? Persistence hunting is part of our past, Donovan admitted. But we've built art, music, medicine, and peace as well. The display above them changed to show Earth cities, hospitals, and conservation efforts. Then it shifted again to military bases, weapon tests, and combat training. You prepare for war even in times of peace, said a floating jellyfish-like being. Your entertainment glorifies violence. Your children play at hunting. Olivia noticed that many council members seemed genuinely afraid. She wondered what experiences had shaped their view of predator species. Meanwhile, in a sterile laboratory several levels below, Dr. Samuel Wright stood surrounded by alien scientists. They scanned him with devices he couldn't begin to understand, and spoke rapidly in their own languages. I assure you I'm not dangerous, he told them, trying to appear friendly. The lead scientist, a six-limbed being with compound eyes, approached him. Please display your teeth. Sam smiled awkwardly. The aliens stepped back in alarm. One dropped a scanning device. Is something wrong? Sam asked. Your mouth contains bone daggers, said the lead scientist, for tearing flesh. They're just teeth, Sam explained. Many Earth species have them. Now please run on this platform, the scientist instructed, pointing to what looked like a treadmill. For the next hour, they tested Sam's endurance, strength, reflexes, and pain tolerance. They seemed particularly disturbed by his ability to sweat and regulate body temperature during extended exercise. Your species can pursue prey for days without rest, the scientist noted. And your hands are designed for both tool use and violence. We mostly use them for typing and eating these days, Sam joked. Nobody laughed. Back in the council chamber, the questioning had intensified. Your planet's history shows constant warfare, said a bird-like council member. How can we trust you won't bring this violence to the stars? Donovan sighed. We don't deny our history, but our greatest achievements came when we worked together in peace. The High Counselor Venthari raised a translucent limb, and the chamber fell silent. We have monitored Earth for 150 of your years. We watched your world wars. We observed your nuclear age. We saw how close you came to self-destruction. Olivia and Donovan exchanged glances. The council had been watching Earth since the early 2000s. If you have watched us for so long, Olivia said, speaking for the first time, then you must have also seen how we pulled back from the brink, how we united after the climate wars to form a global government. A temporary peace, said another. Council member dismissively. Predators always return to their nature. The main doors opened and Dr. Wright was escorted back into the chamber. He looked tired but unharmed. The biological assessment is complete, announced the lead scientist. Humans possess numerous concerning traits: high endurance, omnivorous, diet pack hunting instincts, and problem-solving abilities focused on overcoming prey defenses. Murmurs spread through the council chambers. Furthermore, the scientist continued, they can survive extreme environments, endure significant physical trauma, and their bodies produce chemicals that enhance strength and aggression when threatened. The council members shifted uncomfortably in their seats. Some even moved further back, as if the humans might suddenly attack. Venthari raised both limbs this time, creating a wave of blue energy that silenced the chamber. The council has heard enough. We will now present our judgment. A new hologram appeared, showing a map of the galaxy. A tiny section glowed green. This is the territory humans may occupy, said Venthari. Your species will be restricted to your home system and these 3 nearby uninhabited star systems. Donovan looked shocked. That's barely any room for expansion. Humanity will outgrow that area within a century. Additionally, Venthari continued, ignoring the protest, all human ships will be fitted with council tracking devices. Your weapons technology development will be monitored and limited, and a permanent council observation post will be established in your solar system. These restrictions are unacceptable, Olivia said firmly. Venthari's form pulsed with light. They are not negotiable. The safety of the council takes priority. Another hologram appeared, showing hundreds of council warships. Our combined fleet ensures compliance. To demonstrate our resolve, Dr. Wright will remain with us for further study. Sam took a step back. I'm not staying here. You misunderstand, said Venthari. It is not a request. Guards moved toward Sam, but Olivia stepped between them. Dr. Wright is under my protection as a citizen of Earth. You have no right to detain him. The council chamber erupted in alarmed chatter. See how quickly they turn to threats? Shouted one member. Predator behavior, cried another. Donovan raised his hands. Please, everyone remain calm. We can resolve this peacefully. But the council members were growing more agitated. Some were even leaving their seats in fear. Olivia made a quick decision. She tapped her wrist communicator. Lieutenant Bennett, Code Sigma. Within moments, the lights in the chamber flickered. When they stabilized, Olivia stepped forward. High Counselor, before you make a grave mistake, I request a private audience. There are things about humanity you need to understand, things we haven't shown you yet. Venthari seemed to consider this. What things? The full extent of our capabilities, Olivia said quietly. And why intimidating humans is the last mistake many have made. The High Counselor's form rippled, perhaps in fear, perhaps in curiosity. Very well, but your companions will remain here under guard. As Olivia followed Venthari to a private chamber, she glanced back at Donovan and Wright. Donovan gave her a slight nod. They had prepared for this possibility. Now it was time to show the Council exactly what they were dealing with. Not just predators, but something the galaxy had never seen before. Olivia followed High Counselor Venthari into a smaller chamber off the main council room. The walls glowed with a soft blue light, and there were no chairs or furniture, just an empty space where Venthari floated several inches above the floor. Speak quickly, human, Venthari said. Your display of defiance has only confirmed our fears. Olivia stood tall. What you saw wasn't defiance, it was restraint. She tapped her wrist communicator again and projected a hologram of her own. It showed Earth's full military might. Not just the ships the Council had observed, but the entire fleet that had remained hidden in the shadow of Jupiter and deep space. Hundreds more vessels than the Council knew about. We could have arrived with this armada, Olivia said calmly. We didn't. We came in peace with a single ship. Venthari's form rippled with what might have been surprise. You concealed your true numbers, just as you've shown us only a fraction of your Council ships, Olivia replied. We're not naive, Counselor. We've been exploring space cautiously and quietly for decades. She changed the hologram to show human combat training, exercises, soldiers moving with precision and speed that would alarm most of the herbivore Council species. This is what humans are capable of when threatened, she continued. We don't want conflict, but we will not accept imprisonment in our own star systems or having our people taken against their will. Venthari moved closer, studying Olivia's face. You are an apex predator showing its teeth. Why should this convince us to trust you? Because we're showing you the truth instead of hiding it, Olivia said. And because if we wanted to fight, we wouldn't be talking right now. Meanwhile, in the main chamber, Ambassador Donovan was trying to keep the situation under control. Council members were still agitated, and the guards had moved closer to Dr. Wright. I suggest everyone remain calm, Donovan said smoothly. This is a diplomatic mission. There's no need for security measures. A thin, tall alien with purple skin approached him. Your captain has activated some kind of signal. What is the meaning of this? Before Donovan could answer, the lights flickered. Again. A small commotion started near one of the side entrances. Lieutenant Kyle Bennett had entered the chamber. He wore the standard blue uniform of the Pathfinder crew, but he moved with the confident grace of someone with military training. The Council. Guards noticed him immediately and moved to intercept. Kyle nodded politely at them but continued walking directly toward Dr. Wright. Stop where you are, human, ordered one of the guards, raising a weapon that looked like a stun baton. Kyle stopped, raised his hands, and smiled. Just checking on my colleague. No need for weapons. When the guard approached, Kyle moved with sudden speed. In one fluid motion, he disarmed the guard, ducked under the swing of a second guard, and was suddenly standing beside Dr. Wright. The entire sequence took less than 3 seconds. The council chamber erupted in panic. Some members fled their seats while others called for more security. Please note, Donovan said loudly, that Lieutenant Bennett has harmed no one. He simply moved to protect a fellow human, as is our nature. Kyle whispered to Sam. Ready to leave, Doctor? More than ready, Sam replied. In the private chamber, Olivia was showing Venthari footage of Earth's history, not just the wars but the peace efforts that followed. The disaster relief missions, the environmental restoration, projects, humans working together to build rather than destroy. We evolved as predators, yes, she explained, but we also evolved empathy, cooperation, and a desire to protect. These traits are just as much a part of us as our teeth or our endurance. Venthari's form pulsed thoughtfully. No predator species we have encountered has shown such restraint. They consumed or dominated until they destroyed themselves or had to be contained. Humans are different, Olivia insisted. We can be terrible enemies, but we are loyal friends and fierce protectors. We don't want to rule your council. We want to join it as equals." A communication alert chimed. Venthari received a mental message that made the alien's form flutter with alarm. "Your security officer has disabled 6 guards without weapons. He moves faster than our security protocols can track." Olivia smiled slightly. "Lieutenant Bennett is one of our best. And he hasn't hurt anyone, has he?" "No," Venthari admitted. "Though he could have. That's humanity in a nutshell, Counselor. Capable of violence but choosing restraint." Back in the main chamber, Kyle had created a clear path to one of the exits. Council security forces surrounded them but kept their distance after seeing how quickly he had moved. "Ambassador," Kyle called. "I believe it's time for a strategic relocation." Donovan nodded. "Indeed, Lieutenant, though I hope to continue our discussions with the Council under more favorable circumstances." The 3 humans began moving toward the exit. More guards rushed in from other entrances, but none seemed eager to be the first to attack. A loud, mental voice filled the chamber. "Stop!" High Counselor Venthari floated back into the room with Captain Winters following calmly behind. The council members fell silent, watching the scene unfold. "The humans will not be detained," Venthari announced, "nor will they be restricted. As previously stated." Murmurs of confusion and protest rose from the council members. "High Counselor, they are dangerous," objected the bird-like member. "Yes," Venthari agreed. "They are dangerous, but not in the way we feared." Olivia walked over to join her crew. "The High Counselor and I have come to an understanding. Humanity doesn't respond well to threats or intimidation, but we are very good at forming alliances." Venthari's form expanded slightly. "The Council will recess for 1 full cycle. When we return, we will discuss a new approach to human integration into galactic society." As the Council members filed out, many still, casting fearful glances at the humans, Donovan turned to Olivia. "What exactly did you show the High Counselor?" "The truth," Olivia replied. "All of it. Our capacity for violence and our capacity for peace. I think Venthari understands now that trying to cage humanity would be like trying to hold back the tide." Kyle relaxed his stance but remained alert. "Are we staying, Captain?" "For now," Olivia said. "I believe the real negotiations are about to begin." Dr. Wright looked relieved. "They're terrified of us, you know. Their entire evolution has been about avoiding predators, not becoming them. Then we'll have to show them that predators can also be protectors," Olivia said, looking out at the stars visible through the chamber's vast windows. "The galaxy is a dangerous place. They might need us more than they realize." As if in answer to her words, a council aide rushed in, heading straight for Venthari, who had remained behind. The aide whispered something urgent, and the High Counselor's form dimmed with what looked like fear. "Captain Winters," Venthari called. "It seems the Council may need your predator instincts sooner than expected. We have received a distress signal from the outer colonies. Something is attacking them." Olivia exchanged glances with her crew. "Something the Council fleet can't handle?" "We are not warriors," Venthari admitted. "We never needed to be, until now." Olivia stepped forward. "Then perhaps it's time to show you what humans do best, protecting those who cannot protect themselves." The emergency council session began just 2 hours later. Representatives from all 27 species gathered in a state of barely controlled panic. The central display showed a distant star system where 3 council colony planets were under attack. Captain Olivia Winters stood with her team at the center of the chamber. The mood had shifted dramatically. Where before the council had looked at them with fear and suspicion, now many members gazed at them with desperate hope. High Counselor Venthari's voice echoed through the chamber. "The colony worlds of the Nexus system are under attack by the Krell. They have destroyed our defense stations and landed on Nexus Prime. Millions of civilians are at risk." "Who are the Krell?" asked Ambassador Donovan. A reptilian council member answered. "A species we believed was contained beyond the outer rim. They are, like you, predators, but without your restraint." Holographic images showed the attackers, massive, armored beings with multiple limbs and powerful jaws. They moved with frightening speed and coordination, overwhelming the peaceful council defenses. The Krell consume all in their path, Venthari explained. They have no diplomacy, no mercy. 3 times in our history they have emerged from deep space. 3 times we barely pushed them back at terrible cost. Dr. Wright studied the images with scientific curiosity. Their biology is fascinating. They appear to have evolved as pack hunters, like wolves on Earth. Why haven't you developed better defenses? Asked Lieutenant Bennett. A bird-like council member fluttered with distress. Our species evolved to flee danger, not confront it. Our technology reflects our nature. We build walls and shields, not weapons. Olivia watched the battle footage carefully. The Krell are tactically smart. They target communication systems first, then power, then defense networks. They're not mindless. They're strategists. Can your people help us? Venthari asked directly. We have always feared predator species, now we may need one to survive. Ambassador Donovan glanced at Olivia, who nodded slightly. The Pathfinder is just one ship, Donovan said, but we can call for reinforcements from Earth, and we can advise your fleet on tactics in the meantime. How long until your reinforcements arrive? Asked another council member. 3 days at maximum speed, Olivia replied. But the Pathfinder can be ready in hours. The council chamber erupted in discussion. Some argued that trusting humans was too dangerous. Others insisted they had no choice. Venthari silenced them all with a pulse of energy. We have misjudged humans, the High Counselor announced. We saw only the predator, not the protector. Now we must trust both aspects of their nature. Within 4 hours, the Pathfinder was prepared for battle. Council engineers had shared their shield technology, while the humans provided tactical systems the Council had never considered. On the bridge, Olivia addressed her crew. This isn't what we expected from our first contact mission, but it's who we are. Earth has always produced its best heroes when faced with a threat to the innocent. Lieutenant Bennett checked the weapon systems. The Council ships have agreed to follow our lead. Their captains are patched into our tactical network. The Krell won't expect resistance, Dr. Wright added. They've only ever faced species that run away. Ambassador Donovan joined them on the bridge. I've sent the full report to Earth. The UEG has authorized immediate military support, and they've approved my proposed alliance terms with the Council. Which are? Asked Olivia. Donovan smiled. Full membership rights, open borders, and a special role for humanity as the Council's defensive arm. In return, we share in all their knowledge and resources. Not bad for a species they wanted to cage a day ago, Bennett remarked. The journey to the Nexus system took 18 hours. When they arrived, the situation was worse than expected. One planet was already overrun. The second was under heavy attack. The third, Nexus Prime, was preparing for invasion. The Council fleet, nearly 200 ships, took position behind the Pathfinder. They were impressive in size, but lacked offensive capability. Most were research vessels or transports, fitted with shields. This reminds me of the climate wars, said Olivia as she surveyed the situation. Overwhelming force against civilian targets. The Krell probably think this will be easy. She opened a channel to the Council fleet. This is Captain Winters. The Krell rely on terror and overwhelming force against those who can't fight back. But that changes today. Follow my lead exactly. The Pathfinder dived into the battle at full speed. Unlike the Council ships that tried to maintain distance, Olivia took her ship directly at the Krell fleet. The enemy, surprised by the aggressive move, scattered. Target their command ships, Olivia ordered. Lieutenant Bennett, show the Council gunners where to aim. For the first time in their history, the Council ships fired in a coordinated attack. Their weapons, though designed for defense, proved effective when used together. 2 Krell ships exploded. The others regrouped quickly but seemed confused by the unexpected resistance. They're adapting, Bennett warned. Changing formation to surround us. Just as we predicted, Olivia replied calmly. Signal Phase 2. The Council ships, following the humans' battle plan, split into smaller groups and attacked from multiple directions. It was a hunting tactic like wolves separating prey from the herd. On Nexus Prime, the Krell ground forces suddenly found themselves under attack from orbit. Precise strikes hit their landing zones and supply ships. The colonists are fighting back, reported a council commander, sounding surprised. They're using your tactics, forming defense groups instead of running. For 6 hours, the battle raged across the system. The council ships took damage but held together. The Pathfinder led each assault, targeting Krell weaknesses that only a predator species would recognize. They're retreating, Bennett finally announced, breaking orbit and heading for open space. A cheer went up across the council fleet. On the communication screens, council members were celebrating in various ways. Some singing, others performing ritual movements, many simply radiating light and patterns of joy. Venthari's voice reached them from the distant council station. Captain Winters, you have done what we thought impossible. You have saved Nexus Prime and driven back the Krell. Not alone, Olivia replied. Your fleet fought well once they knew how. Because you showed us how predators can also protect, said Venthari. The Council formally extends an invitation to Earth to join us, not as subjects but as equals, perhaps even as teachers. 3 days later, Earth's defense fleet arrived, led by Admiral Laura Hayes. The show of force impressed the Council further. Formal alliance treaties were drafted, with Ambassador Donovan working tirelessly to ensure fair terms. On the observation deck of Harmonia Center, Olivia stood with Dr. Wright, watching Earth ships and Council vessels dock side by side. What do you think happens now? Sam asked. Everything changes, Olivia replied. The Council feared us because we're predators. Now they need us for the same reason, and we need their knowledge and resources. A perfect symbiosis, Sam said. They build, we protect. Ambassador Donovan joined them, looking pleased. The treaty is signed. Humanity is officially the 28th member of the Galactic Council, and we've been given a special designation. Which is? Olivia asked. Guardians, Donovan said with a smile. It seems the Council has realized that in a dangerous galaxy, having a few predators on your side isn't such a bad thing after all. 1 year had passed since Earth joined the Galactic Council. The massive space station Harmonia Center had changed in ways both subtle and dramatic. New sections built to human specifications housed the growing Earth Embassy. Training facilities, where human instructors taught defense tactics to interested Council species, operated around the clock. Captain Olivia Winters, now Admiral Winters, stood at the viewport in her new office. The view showed dozens of ships coming and going, Council research vessels with human security teams, Earth military ships with Council scientific advisors, and trading vessels from all 28 member species. A soft chime announced a visitor. Enter, Olivia called without turning from the view. Ambassador Alan Donovan walked in carrying a data tablet. He looked different now, more confident, but also more tired. Representing humanity to 27 alien species was challenging. Work. Big day, he said, joining her at the window. The defense treaty is officially active. Earth is now formally responsible for the security of all Council space. Olivia nodded. The joint fleet is ready. 50 Council ships equipped with our weapons systems, and 20 Earth vessels with their shield technology. Did you ever imagine this would happen? Alan asked. When we first arrived and they treated us like dangerous animals? No, Olivia admitted. But I always knew humans would find their place in the stars. We just needed the right opportunity to show who we really are. Across the station in the science wing, Dr. Samuel Wright supervised a mixed team of human and alien researchers. The laboratory buzzed with activity as they studied samples from a newly discovered planet. Notice how the cellular structure adapts to environmental changes, Sam explained to a group of fascinated Council scientists. Similar to Earth species, but with significant differences in the protein chains. A tall, thin alien with 4 arms, Zaxlur, who had once delivered Earth's summons, approached Sam's workstation, where once he had regarded humans with fear, now he showed something like respect. Dr. Wright, the High Counselor requests your presence at the defense briefing. The Krell samples you analyzed have yielded concerning results. Sam nodded. I'll be right there. As they walked together through the station corridors, Sam noticed how different things were now. Council citizens no longer moved away when humans passed. Many even nodded in greeting. Some of the children from certain species seemed fascinated by humans, watching them with wide eyes. Your people have changed us, Zaxler said suddenly. For 20,000 years, the Council lived in fear of predator species. We hid, we built walls, we ran. Now we learn to stand and face threats. And you've changed us too, Sam replied. Humans have always been restless, always pushing boundaries. You've given us purpose, something bigger than ourselves to protect. In the Council's main defense center, Lieutenant Kyle Bennett, now Colonel Bennett, led a mixed team of human and alien tactical specialists. The room was filled with holographic displays showing all of Council space and the known territories beyond. The Krell have pulled back to these 3 systems, Kyle explained, pointing to red markers on the display. But their communication patterns suggest they're regrouping, not retreating. They're calling to others of their kind. High Counselor Venthari floated in the center of the room, form glowing with concerned energy. How long until they return? Based on their previous patterns, 6 months, Kyle answered. But this time we'll be ready for them. Admiral Winters and Ambassador Donovan entered the room, followed by Dr. Wright and Zaxler. The senior leadership team was now complete. Admiral, Venthari greeted Olivia. Your prediction was correct. The Krell consider our alliance an insult. Predators defending prey. They will come in greater numbers next time. Olivia studied the tactical display. Then we'll need to be smarter and more prepared. Dr. Wright, what did you learn from the Krell samples? Sam stepped forward. The Krell are pack hunters by evolution, but they've developed a hive mind approach to warfare. They're connected through a biological communication network, almost like telepathy but chemical in nature. This gives them incredible coordination in battle. Can we disrupt it? Asked Kyle. I believe so, Sam replied. We're developing a compound that interferes with their neural pathways. It won't hurt them, but it will slow their coordination significantly. Ambassador Donovan smiled. Typical human approach. Find the weakness, develop the solution. Venthari's form pulsed with what might have been amusement. When we first met your species, we saw only danger. We failed to see that predators understand other predators in ways we never could. A junior council member rushed into the room. High Counselor, we've received a transmission from the outer monitoring post. Another ship has entered council space, but it's not Krell. The main display changed to show a massive vessel unlike any they had seen before. It moved with deliberate purpose toward council territory. Unknown design, Kyle said, instantly analyzing the ship. But definitely built for war. Energy readings suggest advanced weapons. Venthari turned to Olivia. Another threat so soon? Or a potential ally, Olivia suggested. Not all predator species are like the Krell. What do you recommend, Admiral? Venthari asked. First, we show strength, Olivia said firmly. I'll take the joint fleet to meet them before they reach inhabited systems. We position for defense but open communications channels. We show them that the Council is protected, but willing to talk. The Predator and the Diplomat in one approach, Venthari observed. This is why we needed humans. Within hours, a fleet of 30 ships led by Admiral Winters aboard the new flagship UES Guardian departed Harmonious Center. The ships moved in formation patterns developed by Colonel Bennett, defensive but clearly capable of rapid attack if needed. Back on the station, Ambassador Donovan worked with the Council to prepare for either peaceful contact or potential conflict. Dr. Wright and his team analyzed every scrap of data on the newcomers, looking for insights into their biology and technology. It's remarkable how things have changed, Donovan said to Venthari as they watched the fleet depart. A year ago you feared us. Now you send us to meet unknown dangers on your behalf. We feared what we did not understand, Venthari replied. We saw humans as predators and nothing more. Now we see you as you truly are, protectors with the instincts and abilities to face threats that would overwhelm us. As the Guardian accelerated, Toward the unknown ship, Admiral Winters felt a sense of purpose stronger than anything she had known before. Humanity had found its place in the galaxy, not as conquerors, not as the conquered, but as guardians of a peaceful civilization that needed their unique evolutionary gifts. "Signal the fleet," she ordered. "Tell them to prepare for first contact protocols. Let's show these newcomers what happens when you meet humans and their allies." The stars stretched out before them, full of both danger and promise. The Council had tried to intimidate humans and ended up discovering exactly what humanity did best, facing threats head-on and protecting those who couldn't protect themselves.